of course, the meditation never begins and never ends. So it looks like sometimes that we sit down to meditate and it's a particular practice, like separate from our life usually. And actually, what it is, it's really life. Meditation is a life. So it never begins and never ends. And uh, so, therefore, we are already meditating together now. And then you can feel the quality of your meditation in this moment. So, maybe first checking the quality of your thoughts and what's happening on the mental level. Maybe there are so many thoughts that one is not even aware, like just numb or blind. Or maybe it's so quiet that we feel a sense of calmness, peacefulness, or maybe something in between. So you can check now with yourself, what is the quality of my mind right now? And you can do that with the closed eyes if you like, just hearing my voice. Or you can have your eyes half open, half closed. Or you have even your eyes open. And you can have your gaze somewhere that's not the screen, because my face is not so important for this. And you are more important now. So it's really a moment to dedicate to yourself. And of course, not to your ordinary self, but to something of yourself which we can call divine or pure. I like the word pure more because it's a non-conditioned. It's the you that's a non-conditioned, that doesn't have a name, doesn't have an age or background, country where you're from. But this self that we dedicate ourselves to now is a unconditioned self, a free self. And this is more of a feeling actually than any kind of concept or idea of self. So you can start to feel something that is beyond your name, age. And we can call this your attention or your awareness, which is clear, non-conditioned. So there's your body sitting there right now or standing wherever you are. And then there's your awareness or your attention that's aware of the body. And also your awareness or attention of your mind. And first we look really clearly at our mind, at our body, maybe even at our emotions, any kind of a moving feeling, maybe in the tummy. So we pay attention. And then we pay attention both to what we can see, what we can pay attention to, but we also pay attention to this attention itself, the awareness itself with which we notice all of this. And then we can start to recognize that there's two selves. Conditioned self, which has thoughts and a body and emotions and all that comes with that. And the other self that's clear, or we can also say bright. Bright because we pay attention. It's a light of our attention, light of our awareness. The Tibetans say illuminant, and then other cultures have different names for it. Christians draw us a holy circle over the head. Forgot the name of that. So that's the awareness, which is clear. And now you can start to come into relationship with this awareness, with which you notice everything. And maybe you can see the dance between the two selves, the one that thinks, feels, has physical sensations, dancing with this awareness. And we actually don't pay attention only to our awareness. Neither do we get lost only in our thoughts, but we pay attention to both. Thoughts, emotions, physical sensations, even physical surroundings where we sit, noises, whatever you can notice now. And at the same time, not more or less, we pay attention to this awareness. And we notice that this awareness and the content of that awareness, so content meaning thoughts, emotions, etc., etc. This awareness and the content, they are not separate. Meaning that the content is directly in relationship with the awareness. So when a thought comes, then we directly have the attention also that comes with it. So there's a kind of a union between our experience of this moment and the awareness of our experience of this moment. So our awareness follows every movement of this experience. Because our experience is always changing, right? Always moving, never stops. We always experience. And Now we see that our awareness follows that movement. They move together. Without any kind of judgment. We just notice every movement of experience, how you feel now, how you feel now, how you feel now. Always paying attention. And like this, we can sit a little bit and feel the quality of that. And this we can call union, union of awareness and the content of our awareness, content of our experience. And this is like a union yoga. Also the truest or purest form of Tantra. And then there are many expressions of Tantra. But purest form is a union of awareness and content of awareness. Where there's nothing separate. There's no time gap between an experience and our attention or awareness of this experience. And usually in our daily life, there's often time gap. Something happens and I'm lost in what is happening. And then after some time, we start to have awareness of what's happening. So the practice of union is that what's happening comes directly without a time gap with the awareness of what's happening. And we can see also with a little experiment together how quickly there is a time gap. So you can try, if you like, with your eyes closed or your eyes open, you can try to lift up your right arm or your hand just lightly. Yeah. And then you very slowly move the hand or the arm as if you would wave to say goodbye to someone. And you see that your awareness follows every single movement of this hand. Because usually when we wave very quickly, like this, very fast. So now we can practice that our awareness follows every movement. Or we can also move the fingers and see that there's actually, when there's a real union between our awareness of the fingers moving, hand moving, and the movement, then there's complete silence, complete stillness. Yeah, there's no thought in between. In the moment there's a thought in between already, there's a gap between my hand moving and my awareness of the hand moving, because my awareness was hijacked by a thought. So you can rest your arm again and continue this union yoga practice. But now not with the physical movement, but your mental movement. And also notice that when your awareness follows very closely thought, then there's no thought left, because your awareness has come into union with the content of thought. So there can be nothing in between. And from this place, you can actually explore a lot of things, because you can direct your thought and use it. You can think of an elephant without distracting yourself from that picture. And then you can make all kinds of experiments in your mind. But this requires some practice, huh? Because usually we create a picture and then we get distracted, because we let there be a gap between our awareness and the content of our mind. So now we don't practice to intend our mind into a certain direction, but we practice the beginning, the foundation, which is a union of awareness and mind. And maybe we can even enjoy this quietness that we start to feel. The chatter stops. And this is what I called earlier the brightness or luminosity. It's a clarity or chatter that we can get a glimpse of right now. Also allows your brain to relax. Brain likes very much this kind of meditation. Just because we go to sleep doesn't mean we can relax our brain. Sometimes we feel more exhausted waking up than when we went to bed because of all the wild dreams. So here now, can actually rest our brain. which gives it an opportunity for natural transformation. We don't have to do anything for there to be clarity, insight, wisdom, but just have our brain relax. And then if there's a thought or some sense of distraction, then also there we just practice union. So there's no distraction actually. There's no such thing as distraction here because it's another opportunity to have our awareness merge with this so-called distraction. Awareness always follows whatever is happening. And whatever experience now you're having, whatever experience, you pay attention to that and merge your awareness with that experience. And find that union between awareness and experience. And let your brain quite literally transform. Know that the brain's chemistry is actually changing from this practice. Like many hours watching a film has an impact on the brain, so does this practice have an impact on the brain. And when we practice like this for some time, maybe a bit regularly, then the brain is really changing, shifting. Comes a support. And also knowing that even the brain or any kind of other organ not separate from us, there's always only one union between all experience, all form, and our awareness, which we can call the formless. So this is where we can complete the practice, which doesn't complete the meditation. Meditation is never complete. It's a life. What this particular practice can complete. And what I'd like to offer is this union yoga practice as something to engage in the life, to really have awareness merge with our experience, our content of awareness. So when I look at the screen, the laptop, then I also look with attention, with awareness. So I look 50% out, 50% in. Always a 50% attention out, 50% in. Yeah. And this is a really important practice. Huh? Why is it important? Well, because when there's a gap between our experience and our awareness of the experience, in that gap, we create a lot of suffering because there comes a lot of involuntary thoughts, involuntary emotions, involuntary sensations that dominate our experience then. So, and the stronger or the wider the gap becomes, the more there is in between our awareness and our experience, content of awareness, the less we can be, so to say, present. Use that simple word. The less we can be present and available to our life, available to create what we want to create, or have the relationship we want to have, or have the life that we want to enjoy, you see. So in that union, there is definitely joy and more, because there's no longer suffering in that union. So it's a very important practice that many people have attempted to teach. So do I attempt to not teach, but to guide in the meditation. And of course, my sincere wish is that it supports us all to live in such a way that is light. So not heavy from all the things in the gap, but light because the awareness and the content of awareness experience are one, merge. So there's no gap where it's heavy, 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 but it's a one. And with that one, I can go very, very fast because I'm light. And it's also in that gap to maybe round off from what I shared in the beginning of this. In the gap, also our personality gets created, our name and idea of a country and culture and age, and of course not the actual facts of that. The gap doesn't create the age, but the gap creates the idea of that age, or the idea of that culture or that country, or the idea of our looks, our physical looks when we look in the mirror. Also, you can practice this in front of the mirror. You see yourself and you have a no gap in between your seeing and that which you are seeing. So there's no thought like, oh, today I look good, or today I look ugly. But it is just what it is. So in that sense, without the gap, there's also a sense of this other self that I was describing in the beginning, like two selves. So we can get to know our other self. We have a one self we know very well, our name and so on. And then this other self, we have a potential to get to know. And with that, life becomes quite light.